Hello, my name is Stanley Ugagbe and welcome to today's commentary on what is happening in Nigeria. This is the News Chronicle. Earlier this week, I came across a trading result that emanated from one of the Nigerian universities. And of course, looking at the result, I didn't know how to feel. Because guess what? It was laced with E, F, D. E, F, D, E, F, D. And you ask yourself, what is going on? Like from the beginning, the class was almost about 150 students and it was laced with failures. And then I looked at the result and it reminded me of my undergraduate days. I used to have a lecturer who would come to class and tell us that it is witchcraft to have an A in his course. Like he would tell us to our faces that it is witchcraft to have an A. And then I had another lecturer then who would say, when we were writing exams, he would usually say, what are you writing? I already know what you will score. And true to his words, by the time results come out, the best you will see is a C, irrespective of what you have written. Now, the truth is that there are so many angles to the failures of students in our universities and, of course, even secondary schools. It is true that many students nowadays don't want to study. In fact, a number of them are just there just to fulfill righteousness. But the reality is that some of Nigerian university lecturers have this attitude of they are gods. Like they behave as if they are gods. To them, failure is a thing of joy. Like they derive failure in failing students. And you ask yourself, why? Isn't it supposed to be a thing of joy for a lecturer or a teacher to have, in fact, all of his students coming out in flying colors? But no. Most of Nigeria, or many or some of Nigerian lecturers, they actually derive joy in failing their students. And it actually happened when quite a number of their students fail their exams. And I tell you this, we have seen a number of cases where a student that graduated with third class from Nigerian university goes abroad and he comes out with first class. And then you ask yourself, what happened? Why is this so? Now, the reality is that, like I mentioned before, while there are instances where some of these students actually are not serious with their studies, we are having instances where lecturers deliberately fail their students. Lecturers deliberately, decide the kind of marks that they award to students irrespective of what the students have written. I mean, at the moment, I know of a lecturer who is in the system, and he was, intimating me about how they sit down and then they tell you, oh, a student must not score above this in your course. And that is a ritual that is done even at the department level. And then you ask yourself, what exactly is the essence of this? Why do these people derive joy in failing students, setting unscrupulous benchmark for students who are above all of those, scores that they give them at the end of the day. Now, this is a call to the National Universities Commission, the NUC, to checkmate some of these things, to put measures in place to ensure that lecturers who are victimizing their students' performance should be brought to book. So that by the time they do this to 1, 2, 3 lecturers, it can serve as a deterrent to others. Because it's demoralizing for students to have done so well and then at the end of the day, they see their result and it's a different thing entirely. And I also call on stakeholders across the education sector to look at some of these things, because it has become a pandemic in our society, in our institutions, for students to write exams, and at the end of the day, what they have written is different from what is being awarded to them. I hope that this call would be a wake-up call to all of those that are in the academic industry. Follow the News Chronicle on all our platforms, and you are also encouraged to like, share, and comment. And of course, you can visit us online on the news/chronicle.com. Thank you. See you same time next week.